But survivors of the attacks are furious that they're still having to prove they're eligible for legal aid, filling in forms with what they've called personal, intrusive questions. Phil Bales reports.
If you climbed out of the wreckage left by the 7/7 bombs and want to be legally represented at the inquest into the deaths of the 52 killed, fill in this form for legal aid, the survivors have been told, or pay your costs yourselves. Even then, if they earn too much, they could get nothing.
Oh, my heart sank when I saw the form. I mean, it's a lot worse than a tax return. It's a really intrusive form that wants to know all about, for example, how much I've got in my pension and what my husband earns, how much my jewellery is worth, and whether anybody has left me anything in will. I mean, it really is a very intimate audit of my private life, and to be honest, I felt a bit like a criminal.
Many survivors are physically or psychologically injured. They and the bereaved families fear the inquest will be the nearest they'll get to a public inquiry into what happened. They need legal representation to get their questions asked.
Everybody else, after all, has lawyers. The police, 3 different police forces, security service, the London Ambulance, the government, all publicly funded by the taxpayer. I do think it's fair that those whose lives have been blighted by the 7th of July bombings are also given the opportunity to ask questions.
The inquest will be complicated. 100,000 documents, including 30,000 witness statements. Lawyers representing those caught up in the attacks say their legal advice should be free.
It is only fair that all of the families, and indeed all of the survivors, are funded so that they can be represented, that they can have their questions put, and hopefully receive answers as to why it happened and whether it could have been prevented.
If they don't fill in this 15-page form, the survivors of the explosion here and of the other atrocities will have to pay for their legal costs themselves. Why should we do that, they ask, when we've already paid a heavy price by going through this terrible ordeal?
Some, though, are saying the form is just one ordeal too far. Phil Bales, London Tonight.
A couple more headlines for you. A man has been cleared of murder after killing one man and injuring another after they broke into his home. 49-year-old Samuel Kamina slashed at 3 armed intruders with a knife last September. 24-year-old Perry Nelson died from his wounds. And boxing and wrestling will not be returning to the Royal Albert Hall after local residents won a High Court order. People living in nearby Prince Consort Road are concerned that the sports will attract antisocial behaviour. We end our news tonight with a gorilla who's certainly doing his bit to save the species. Yeboah was drafted into London Zoo last November with the mission to help make more gorillas. And let's just say the keepers are very pleased with his efforts so far, as Toby Sadler reports.
Yeboah might not be every girl's idea of a dream date. He walks on all 4s after all, and at dinner you can guarantee he'll pick his food up from the floor, then chew with his mouth open. But in gorilla terms, he is Brad Pitt, a regular Don Juan, something he seems to take in his stride.
He's so chilled out and he's so relaxed, and he loves spending time with the females. That's the most important thing.
Yeboah loves to travel. Born in Germany, he's most recently spent time in France before taking up a vacant position of Casanova in London. And while they're all looking pretty coy right now, the new women in his life have fallen for him hard.
Yeboah is a major hit with the ladies. He's already sort of got it on, as it were, with 2 of the females, and we've had quite a lot of mating so far. He's already making his moves on the 3rd female, and it's going really, really well.
The female gorillas at London Zoo have been without a mate since 2008, when the silverback Bobby died. It's hoped the new man in town can pick up where he left off and continue his legacy of gorilla conservation. Toby Sadler, London Tonight.
Right, it's time now, I think, for the weather. Here's Chrissy.
Hello there. Quick look ahead then, first of all. After glorious sunshine today, not quite the case tomorrow. A lot more cloud around and certainly colder too. Thursday, fingers crossed, will be dry and hopefully some good spells of sunshine. Overnight, there'll be more clouds streaming in from the west, but under the clearer skies, dipping temperatures, so frosty perhaps for some. And then tomorrow morning, a chilly and a fairly cloudy start. Hopefully through the afternoon, there will be some breaks in that cloud, so hopefully you will get to see a little bit of sunshine in between. Breezy tomorrow and feeling chilly, highs there of 7 or 8 degrees. Dry with some sunshine on Thursday, a few showers pushing in our direction by Friday. Drier on Saturday, but remaining fairly cool and also breezy.
OK, our first GMTV bulletin gets underway at just after 6:30 in the morning. But for now, from everyone on the London team, good night.